Have you ever wondered how to add that ear candy to the top and the low end? If you use classic EQ and just do the boosts or the cuts, that usually won't work. Or it'll work, but the results won't be exactly how you expected. That's why you need to use analog emulations. So I usually get asked, how do I add ear candy to my master or mix bus in order to achieve that brightness, air and fullness that industry standard songs have? Now in that case, we usually go for a specific piece of analog gear called Maselec EQ. There are other equalizers, but Maselec is very famous for that specific purpose. Since not many of people have analog gear, I'll definitely jump into two of the plugins that can emulate a very similar effect. One of them is by IK Multimedia and the second one is by Acustica Audio. Let's jump into the video and show this very simple. The plugin you see in front of you is called the IK Multimedia T-Rex Master EQ 432. It's an amazing plugin that seamlessly emulates Maselec EQ. Now what I'm doing with this plugin, as you can see here, we have the low, mid and high section for the low end, for the mids and for the highs. We also have a shelving section right here. As you can see, I'm basically using everything here. So let me explain how I got this setup. So first thing I like to do is to enhance the high end to give that like air and that presence that we are all looking for on vocals and the very top end of the mix. What I did here is I used this high band set at 14 kHz. On my Maselec EQ, the original analog unit, I would go for 12 kHz. However, I liked how this 14K sounds like in combination with this shelving EQ. So I'm doing half a dB boost here and half a dB boost on the shelving EQ. I'm basically combining two filters to get more creative effect. Now why do I have this 2.4 kHz section affected here? Because if you look at the vocals and the way they're present in the mix, the presence will be shown around 2 to 3 to 4 kHz depending on the vocals itself. On this particular track, I found out that the vocals presence area is around 2.4 kHz, 2.5. This is why I have the band selected right here and I'm doing 1 dB of boost, which sounds absolutely insane. Now you're probably asking yourself, why do I have a low band set at 240 and then attenuation for about 1 dB? Naturally, when I cut that range around 250, 240, 200 Hz, depends on the mix, I will naturally gain presence in the upper range. This is why I did an adjustment like this. In addition to that, I have a shelf filter that boosts my low end, which gave that incredible weight I was looking for. Now let's compare the results before and after so you can actually hear what I'm talking about. As I said, the differences are very subtle but noticeable. The track you heard is not mastered at all. This is the final mix with this processor only. So I'm not using any of the processors I have within the chain. I bypass them all and just use this specific unit on my final mix. Let's jump into another unit. This unit also represents very accurately the response of the Maselec EQ and it even looks like one. I did the exact same settings I have on the IK Multimedia's Master EQ 432. However, we have a bit different interface right here. So I'm doing a shelf filter at 12 kHz, which is what I would originally do on my Maselec. We're doing again the adjustment for the vocals, we are doing the same for the 240 Hz, and I have a low shelf at, let's say, 70 to 80 Hz. Now let's compare the differences before and after. So yes, this is exactly how you can add ear candy. Again, remember, this is the final mix, without any of the mashing processors I had within the chain. I bypassed them all and just used these units to showcase how they can benefit the overall performance of your masters. Now you can see how effective it is to play with details. If you bypass and then play them again, you'll notice that the differences are not as aggressive as you might expect. We are playing with the details. I'm saying this through the whole video so you understand What's the purpose of doing an adjustments like this? Thank you for watching the video. More mastering videos are coming very soon, and I'm also releasing our mastering masterclass, which will feature many of the new tricks, new techniques, and that will show you how I master music, and also many techniques we use to make industry standard tracks. But I'll definitely keep you updated on that. Thank you for watching the video, and see you in another one.